us about Dahlin at this point?
Still day to day. He went on the ice this morning. I haven't heard a report on that. We will hold him out tomorrow, and he'll stay back, do more rehab, and we'll get another report tomorrow to see where that day to day is. But today was the first day back on the ice, so we're gonna see and get some different information with respect to that being his first day on the ice.
So is Saturday realistic or
not? I'm inclined to say no. I don't want to rush him back with the type of issue he's dealing with, so I don't expect him back Saturday, but I don't have any feedback on this morning yet.
And as far as Stillman goes, you got so many off-ice things, and he's got to practice, so you don't really have any idea when you're going to actually use him, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be hesitant to use him when he does finish the immigration. I think these guys are at the point in the season that they're at. They've played a lot of hockey, so I'm not worried that at this point yet that he's been out of practice or away from it too long. I think adrenaline, excitement can compensate for that in this short window. So, if we're fortunate enough, he could be in the lineup tomorrow, even though he didn't practice today. But we'll see. We'll see what transpires with the immigration.
Could you see his excitement? I mean, we spoke this for like 10 minutes, and you could just tell he's ready to go. I mean, could you see his excitement just him joining the group today?
I saw it I heard it when I spoke with him on the phone, and then had a conversation with him yesterday, and yes, you could see very excited. He was head to toe in Sabre gear and ready to work out and get going. So this league is tight and close. You find out a lot about teams around the league through, he's got a few guys that he knows are in this locker room, and I think he was expressed to me that he was very excited to have an opportunity to be here. And yes, it showed that.
Mark, sorry. When a guy's day-to-day, is there ever a point in that range where concern pops up, or is it just waiting it out?
Well, I guess concern is always the issue day-to-day because you're waiting on information. If we're specifically referring to Dahlin, today is the first day he's going on the ice, so you're hopeful that it's a productive day, that there's not a setback. So yeah, it's tedious and it's a bit nerve-wracking because day-to-day means it's just, you can't say it's going to take long-term. It's just we're waiting to see body response each day. Part of the rehab is pushing and knowing not to push too much based on the point of recovery, I should say. So that's the expertise of medical team and feedback from the player himself. So that's the situation we're in with Rasmus, where he is day to day, and we're going to push him a little further each day to see where he's at medically.
After the Columbus game, you mentioned the team had trouble getting in transition, which we all know is Rasmus can do very well. We know he won't be there against Boston, so how can the team improve in that area against the Bruins?
I think our group will improve by virtue of going through and looking at film of areas that very uncharacteristic last night. There were guys that couldn't make plays that they make routinely well, and that was challenge. That was the challenge. Guys did not look like themselves. We slapped the puck around a little bit in the defensive zone and created more coverage situations for us when it should have been transition situations out of the zone, and just by not being focused and dialed in. And obviously, that's where Dahls is probably the best in the league at transitioning, making plays, and that's 25 minutes of a guy or more that we didn't have, and he leads the way in that. So he's a leader. Guys follow that. So you took that out. We were hoping guys would rise last night, and they didn't. And I think they'll rise next game out. I do. I don't worry that this would carry over into Boston because we had a day for them. I think they self-correct well, and they know they were in one. You're in one, and the game starts, and you feel off sync. it's hard to get back in. It's really hard. You know, at this level, it's the greatest league in the world. So, you know, you're not feeling it. You end up reeling, and most of the time that doesn't go away till you can reboot for the next game. And I think our guys will do that.
Botterill once, you know, coined the phrase that everybody used about meaningful games in March, and the franchise never really got there. Here you are, March 1st. I assume if I had told you on October 1st, you're 3 points out of the playoff spot, all the games at hand, all the things that have happened, you're going to sign up for where you are right now, right away, right? I mean, this is kind
Definitely.
of what the dream has been.
Definitely. And the key component, we cannot lose in this. We are absolutely, you know, going after a playoff spot. And we feel we are capable of getting a playoff spot. The tricky part is there's lots of teams capable of getting a playoff spot. So that's what the competition is about. But we're in the situation where we know we are legitimate contenders for a playoff spot by virtue of what we earned. What can't be lost in that is this is an immense opportunity to deal with the expectations of that with with the youngest team in the league. So they're going to feel, our guys feel pressure because we didn't perform well last night. It's a different type of pressure than they've ever felt to this point in their careers because something slipped through their fingers that was never in their fingers, the 2 points last night. And they have to deal, and we have to deal with that type of pressure. And, you know, we've said from the outset, we're about development and progress. So we're at a point now where you know, that game last night, even though it was a loss, there's franchise progress there. We have all these young players that had something slip through their fingers, and that's gained experience. You know, before Tampa won their 2 cups, they rattled off 60 wins and got swept in the first round of the playoffs. So they thought they were ready to win a cup, and the first round slipped through their fingers in 4 games straight against Columbus 3 or 4 years ago. Then they won 2 cups. In Colorado, similar things have happened to them before they won a cup last year. So for us, you know, 2 points slipped through our fingers. We're able to rebound and try to get 2 more back tomorrow night or through the next course of the season to get those spots. But to be in those positions where something can slip through your fingers are huge developmental opportunities that we're thrusting Jack Quinn up in a top-line role to give him the pressure of that situation, knowing he has the capacity for growth more than somebody else because of his talent. So we need to use this situation, certainly give ourselves, number one priority is give ourselves the best chance of getting that one of those playoff spots. But number 2, knowing that we're going to become better by virtue of being in this situation. I said that even a year ago. Playing top teams is what I preferred because it's the only way it's the best way for us to see how to get better and how to become better. And I've referenced this before. You know, we're in that business right now of these guys need to gain experience. And this is the first time a meaningful game in March is the first experience of that. You do not learn to swim without getting wet. It's impossible. So that's that's the situation we're into. That's gaining experience. And I think our guys will internalize it well game to game. We saw that last week with Toronto, and then you have to respond on the road. You know, I know we'll respond tomorrow. I just hope it's to the point that we get 2 points.
You walked into their building and got 2 points, and they're the best team in the league right now, and they were them. I mean, what do you remember from that game that you guys did so well to be able to come out of there with a win?
Conviction to the end, the intent, and I thought that's what we lacked. We were on the unfavorable side last night. I felt Columbus came out and had greater intent on the pucks to make a play to get to the net right away in the game. We had that when we went into Boston. I thought our intent was great, our intention upon winning a battle, and you know, it was more will as opposed to skill. I think last night, as an example, we need to learn from. We came out and we have a habit of doing this at home. In my estimation, we try to score a pretty goal, And I think you need to score goals just through will and determination and focus on that, and pretty will happen and follow from that point. That's all the goals that we've seen that have been highlight goals. The foundation has been just a flat-out determination to score a goal, a will to go to the net. There's been guys driving the net. There's been pucks put to the net. When we struggle is when we think we can skill our way into the net. We lose the foundation of that will and compete. And we had that in Boston that day.
You mentioned Riley's excitement for being here. I'm curious, as an organization, what the process is like to identify guys that will be excited to be here, because I know that's been a big focus for you and Kevin, is guys who want to be in Buffalo, and it's tricky when they're from outside.
You hear it more and more, players saying things, either that players say it to me or to teammates, and teammates or our guys on our team, and they refer it, and agents calling more to see what openings we may have and availabilities we may have. So it's been a I don't want to say a 180, but it's been the volume of that has increased. Credit to our guys to create the environment they have and the identity they have, and so we do see and hear of that lots more.
This was a little last night, but maybe how is JJ building toward getting that goal?
Well, it's much like I said. This is first experience for JJ, and meaningful games in March, as Mike referred to. It's heightened. You've never had experience at this, and it's pushing him to look in the mirror and demand more of himself, to be stronger on pucks, to not overskate a puck, to get a puck to the net, to track a rebound faster, quicker, harder, be more decisive. He could get by on skill at previous levels, in previous situations. If he missed it, he could just one quick stride and steal it back. You can't do that like you could at previous levels and previous situations. And so I think he's doing a great job of figuring out how to, I guess, recalibrate or elevate is probably a better way to do it, through the process of getting more, time in more key situations, being that we're in an extreme key situation now, fighting for a spot where we're at.